we like to think of your website as the magazine cover or like the book cover to your business, with your business being actually the real deal. But your website literally is like the enticer. That's how, they're like, oh yes, we love their work. We want to work with these two. Like, yeah. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me today, for giving up your time, especially in this heat wave. And yeah, this channel is all about portfolio websites and what goes behind a portfolio website design and the strategy and what it is that business owners need for their businesses. And so I thought, what better way to, find out what your needs are to actually speak to two architects who have your own business. So I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves. Yeah. So hi, we've got Smriti and Jonathan. So yeah, please guys, introduce yourselves.
And hi, Roshni. Thank you so much for having us. So my name is Smriti Chandran. This is my partner, Jonathan Hughes. So our practice is called Chandran Hughes. Both of us our names together. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we set up in the pandemic. We set up 4 years ago in the pandemic. So we're a pandemic company, and we've been going for about 4 years, and we specialize in residential and domestic architecture. That's us.
Brilliant. So you've been going for 4 years. And how are you finding it?
Good. I think it's been a big shift from what we did when we were working in the city, both for bigger practices. So much bigger mixed use, commercial, leisure type projects, and then coming down to domestic scale and almost having to completely relearn everything, because it's just different skill sets, different detailing, different everything.
Yeah.
Right? But we found it far more rewarding working closely with clients on just creating nicer spaces, nicer homes for people, and it's the stuff that we enjoy doing.
Yeah,
so
that's really great.
It's been good.
So guys, thank you so much. What we'll do is we'll dive straight into it. So yeah, the first thing I wanted to actually check in with you was, how do you know if the branding for your business is working? Like, how is that going for you? Like your brand identity?
Sure. So I think the way that we set up our business was very much we're creating a company, let's do this. And we dove straight in. And as it was just me for the first year, because Jonathan was still working for his other company, it was very much, we've got to figure out how to do this from scratch, because we didn't have a clue to start with. So brand was something that we only started to think about, I'd say, properly over the last year or two. The first 2 years was very much figuring, how do we run this practice? How do we bring in leads? And just understanding all the logistics and the mechanics around running the business. It was all just, time was spent in that, and brand wasn't even on my mind. And then I'd say about 2 years ago, do you think? We started looking at, or at least talking to each other about, well, what are the projects that we want to take on? Who are we as architects? And what do we want our practice to represent? That's when we started asking those questions.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of learning curves. I think as any entrepreneur knows, I think starting the business with, we didn't bring, neither of us, and Smriti starting on our own, didn't bring any clients from her. As I said, completely different set of types of clients working in practice. So you kind of start up, and it's then a case of, well, I have nothing to show from the domestic scale. I haven't, I've got my practice experience, but then how do I get new clients on a completely different sector of work within the industry? So that was your challenge, really, to start with.
Yeah.
So branding came into so I think, it was difficult at first for branding to have a big impact. It was just going out there and just getting work, building connections. So it started from a network marketing, not network marketing, but networking with other people in the industry to find those first few jobs, really. That's how.
Yeah. So that's how we built up our client base, was through networking platform, networking and referral platform. And I was there for maybe about a year and a half. So the work was continual. It did really well for introducing us to new clients and building a good client base and projects. And then for a long period of time, we were doing everything. We were doing the networking, the bringing in the work, the marketing, doing the actual architecture.
Yeah.
And then that's when, like I said, we stopped to think about, well, how do we want to market ourselves? So I think we had a really basic website to start, almost like a placeholder with a few images and just a brief section about us. And then would you say you revamped the website? It was over Christmas time, wasn't it?
Back a year ago, just get a little bit of an overhaul. But again, this is all sort of self-done, small team, no budget. So, we're sort of, it's very much testing and doing things that kind of we like and we think people are looking for as well.
No, of course, yeah.
Yeah. But I think, I think the most important thing is to understand that as we've been growing, there gets to a point where you can't just put all of your time into networking, right? You have to have things out there that are working for your business for you. So people are coming to you because there's only so much time that you can put in. So obviously a website is a huge part of that.
Yeah. No, that's really great,
And getting people to...
Yeah. No, that's really great, guys. Thank you. One of the things we would say is like when you're first starting out, you're figuring out your brand identity is not absolutely crucial. The first thing you want to do is actually build your business, get clients in, get revenue in. Like you said, build a network. So that's the most important thing. And I think over time, you'll start to figure out your brand identity and put all of that together. And then obviously your website is a huge part of your brand identity. So yeah, no, that's really great. Thank you. And so as architects, what are the most important things for your website or to go on your website?
From our point of view, when we was first setting up ours, we'd look at all the companies that we thought did well, and we kind of assessed what do they do, and then does that align with our values? So a lot of that is showcasing the work that they've done. So really high quality images of the work that they've completed, showing it as a lived space. I think is quite important. I think it's also important for clients to understand the process. So a lot of people don't actually know what an architect does in detail. They just know you either need one to get planning permission or you just need one somewhere along the construction process. So I think making that process super clear to clients is very important. I think not all architects do that very well. I think it can get sometimes it can just be an overload of information to clients, almost too much information. So I think a simplified process for clients on the website is very important. I think that's two of the main things I can think of right now. So showcasing the work and the process.
Yeah.
I mean, for us as well, I think a big part of our brand is us, as the two people and running the company. I mean, we do work with other people, but we don't employ specifically under our company. So although we've got a lot of good, high, quality partnerships, we are really so integral to every project that we are the brand. So for us, it's really important for us to get across who we are to people before they even come to us.
Yeah.
I think choosing an architect is such a personal thing. For people, because every architect has their own style or their own way of working. There's the same sort of general process, but everyone will tackle it very differently. And within that, you've got the one end, you've got very high end architects. To the other end, you've got people who are doing similar jobs as draftsmen. So they might not be architects, but they'll still get you'll still get planning and things like that. So it's just understanding. I think for clients, it's really important to understand who the people are, what kind of output they're going to get, what level of sort of walking through, hand holding through the process that there's going to be, because it can vary so much from practice to practice.
Yeah. No, that's really great. And just a couple things from what you guys said. So actually, letting potential clients know what your process is quite important. Do you find that before even people have come to you, they're aware of your process? Like they've gone through your website and they've gone through the copy and have read and understood, or do they still come to you and be like, just how does it work? Is that still then that like kind of like double communication? How do you think that works for you?
I think the majority of the time they don't understand the process, or it's a very limited understanding of our services. So, for example, they may go to a builder and say, I want an extension. And then the builder will say, well, you need drawings, go to an architect. So I think that's a majority of the conversations we've been told by our builder that we need an architect for XYZ.
Okay.
And that's just the XYZ and not the A to the rest of the alphabet that we've got to show them. So yeah.
I mean, we make sure to have sort of a kind of a conversation like this with all clients people that come to us even before they've committed to anything. So it's really we use sort of online meetings to really take the time to introduce ourselves, who we are, and walk them through the different processes that is required to getting a project from ground zero, from just the drawing ideas up to actually get it constructed on site. And so we check it. The website's great for that as a base for people to go to, but I think a lot of the time people just don't or haven't, not in our instance, they haven't utilized that information. So we rely very highly on face-to-face for that.
Yeah. No, I totally understand, because we as website designers also have a portfolio website, and we've put a copy on there about what we do and about our service and a little bit about our process. But we do find that when I look at the analytics of our website, it's like, they haven't really read that. They've just gone straight from home to portfolio to then, hey, let's chat.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I mean, like one key thing is definitely like your portfolio. We'd like to think of the your website as the magazine cover or like the book cover to your business, with your business being actually the real deal. But your website literally is like the enticer. That's how they're like, oh yes, we love their work, we want to work with these two. Like, so amazing. And you also touched on your architectural style, and different architects have different styles. How did you convey that on your website? Was that through your portfolio, maybe through testimonials? How did you manage to do that one?
We've done that. I think we've shown a variety of mediums. So we've shown some sketches of how we like to work. So that's just showing our collaborative process with clients. So it's not here's a design, there you go.
Yeah.
It's ready for planning. We work with the clients and we have, regular meetings. We take it from sketches to then 2D drawings to then 3Ds and just hold their hand throughout it. So we've shown a variety of the material that we produce on our website, just to give them an idea of the content that we actually produce. I think that's how we've done it, really. Okay,
that's really great. We like to say that even if you don't have a load of projects and you're just starting out, to even just include one project and a couple of testimonials, it is enough. We say one perfect one is better than 5 okay ones. And then also I want to go back to a little bit about the brand is you guys. It's the both of you, and no doubt people want to work with you guys for who you are and what you stand for and your values. And I had a little read about, I think it was on your about page, about your ethos. So how important is that to you guys, to actually talk about your ethos and your values and how you work? Like, how important is that to your business and to have that on your website?
Very important. Yeah. I think if you look underneath it all, that's our driving principle for the business, is that we believe that every person on the planet should have a home that they love. And that applies in so many instances, whether it's just an extension to your house. If you're a family and you've got kids and you need the space for your children, you just want to make it home, or it's an interior design project. You just want to make it home. And we think everyone should have that available to them in their lives. And that's what we're trying to do, is make that more accessible to people with good design that doesn't necessarily have to cost an arm and a leg.
That's amazing. Thank you. So we'll move on to a little bit about mobile, with websites. Obviously, making sure your website looks good on mobile and on tablets. Is that something that's important to you guys as architects? Again, I can imagine a lot of your potential clients are coming and visiting your site on a desktop or laptop view. But yeah, how important was it to mobile optimize your site?
I think we've considered it. We did do a desktop, a mobile version of the design of the website. Sorry. And I remember saying to you, everyone looks at things on their phone these days, so we've got to make sure that it works well on the phone. Which they do, yeah.
Yeah. When I first set it up, I think we got a lot of the analytics on our website showed a lot of desktop views, mainly like maybe 70, 80% desktops. Recently, I think that's switched.
Really?
So now it's actually more mobiles. So, I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's important to have both.
Yes.
Because I think so many people are using phones to search. But likewise, I think when you're going to do such a big project like a home renovation, which can cost, quite easily up to hundreds of thousands of pounds, then people want to have, I think a lot of people want to be able to sit down, big screen, see the quality and finishes of the types of images or finished projects that you've done. So that's, I think, it's definitely important. But for people just to find you in the first place, being able to just sort of flick on your phone, find someone, go, okay, these guys are great.
These look good.
Yeah. So I do think there's a place for both.
That's a point, actually. How important was it to, I'm sure you've heard of search engine optimization, SEO. So yeah, is that something that you guys are continuously working on? How important is that to you guys at the moment? Especially for SEO is really great for long-term growth and working on the keywords on your website. So yeah, is that something that you're always working on?
Yeah. So that one's one that we're very aware of and have been for a while, but we haven't put the time in to implement it yet. Just because, again, just smaller business, not got the budget to outsource, and we just haven't been able to put the time aside for either of us to start building content. But it is on our timeline, so it is important to us, and having blogs where information, there's information for people to get, everything they need from different planning issues that maybe we come across on projects that we do, because we want to use it as a bit of a case study space to sort of just when you come up against something, let people know about it, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's positive or negative, it's if it's a learning experience, then it's useful to share. So that's definitely something that we are that we're going to be that's we need to do.
Yeah. I'm so happy you mentioned blogs, because I'm very passionate about writing blogs. And for sure, if you can invest some time weekly to creating blog posts, and I think you guys have some great ideas about what you could do and what your ideal clients are after, like information and, like you said, case studies, just educating people on what architects do and showcasing even the journey from A to Z, what you've done for a client. I'm so happy you mentioned blog posts, because they would really, they'll really help you with your SEO. They've definitely helped us in our business. So amazing. Yeah. And I wanted to then talk a little bit about client testimonials and feedback. So how have you utilized client testimonials on your website?
I don't think we're showing any reviews or testimonials on our website.
Yeah, we are.
Are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, right. Yeah, since we've done that. Yeah, we know we do. Okay, so we've got a few. So they're all done on Google, and then we've just taken a few.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
I think, again, it's really, as Smriti said, it's only really the last 6 to 12 months we've been focusing much more on how to structure ourselves more as a business operating for growth, rather than just dealing with a lot of projects were coming in through word of mouth,
Yeah.
which is great, but we were just dealing with them as and when constantly as they came in, never focusing on the business. So really, for us, we haven't, with these ideas of getting the website to be more optimized and figuring out how we can sort of just get leads from different areas. They're all things that we're starting to integrate really as of this year. So a lot of the stuff is kind of on the roadmap. I mean, social media for us is a huge one, but we just haven't yet pushed forward, and we need to start doing that as soon as possible, really.
No, that's really great. Yeah. I would, client feedback and testimonials are so valuable for your website. I actually had a look at your website, and I definitely saw some reviews on there. So you got, that's really great. One thing we love, especially over here at Original Box, we love video testimonials. And if you could ever get your clients on video, even if it's 30 seconds, to say what results you guys gave them and put that on your website, hugely beneficial, like hugely. And that also helps with your SEO. Having more videos on your website helps you with your SEO growth as well. So if you do have some clients out there who are willing to do that, because I know not everyone likes to get in front of the camera. Yeah.
No, it's definitely worth asking some of our clients.
Yeah, you're really great.
To do that.
Yeah. Few projects, because we're quite young, we've got quite a few that have been in construction phase that maybe just aren't quite finished.
Yeah.
So there's a few that are ongoing at the moment that we've earmarked that once they're done, we'll be able to get proper photography of, and it's a great opportunity to include as long as they're willing.
Yeah.
Video.
Just give them a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
Like to leave us a video.
Well,
yeah, but not as you say, not everyone is open to that. But I know that there are other practices. I mean, that do include things like that in part of their terms and services as part of their contract. They'll have potentially some sort of financial benefit if there's a reserve at the end of the project, and if it completes, as long as they allow the photos and the access, then they get that reserve money back at the end, things like that. So I mean, it depends on how you want to operate that, really. But I think people are welcome to their privacy.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah. You do get the, I mean, Smriti, you mentioned about the bottle of wine. It doesn't have to be a bottle of wine, but it can be any kind of incentive, right? We actually looked at in our business, what incentive can we give to people? We reach out to clients that we worked with 2 years ago, and we just sort of go, how's your website going? What results are you seeing? And any words we get from them can just be used as testimonials, can be used as social proof that what you do for people is amazing and the results you give people is amazing. And that's what you want to do, is people look for that social proof on your website. Portfolio and client testimonials, big one. If you can invest in those aspects of your website, for sure. I wanted to ask you about your the stories for each project. Do you guys talk about sometimes in portfolios, people talk about the client came to me with this challenge and this is the result I gave them. Like, do you mention project stories on your portfolio?
Maybe on one or two, but I think that's definitely something we'd like to do across all of them.
Be really great.
So one of them is, the client came with these problems. These are the challenges we faced along the way. And it's something like telling a little story about it. It's quite nice. It not only does it kind of summarize everything from our point of view, but it's just nice for clients and for everyone looking at the website to understand the challenges involved and the process. And it's not just, we go from a meeting to a shiny product at the end. There's a nice story behind it. Yeah, it's definitely nice. Yeah.
I mean, I think for me as well, it's nice to see all the images. You want the pretty images because that's what the engaging part. But then when you click into it, then you're looking for more detail. So it's great to see them, as you say, that extra bit of information, and particularly from from our point of view and from a client's point of view, it's seeing those images and also seeing, almost the technical information. What was the build cost? What was, where was the location? Who was the builder and the contractor, or who was involved in it? Because they're the types of things that people are going to look to want to see.
Yeah.
And when they're help them make a decision, like, is this person the right person for me?
Yeah. That's really great, guys. Thank you. So yeah, in terms of my questions that I wanted to fire at you, that's pretty much it. Is there anything else? Actually, I mean, at the end, I would like to ask you, where can people find you? And I will leave links in the description where people can find you. But yeah, is there anything else you'd like to add? Like, I was thinking, actually, one last question could be, how do you keep your website interesting to users? There's the aesthetic side, and then there's also like the strategic side. Interesting in terms of, I guess it just comes back to your branding. Like, how important is that to you guys?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. And I think, to be pure, brutally honest, we only just redid it a little bit this year. And we are constantly trying to make tweaks and evolve it. And this time, the last time we looked at it, it was we kind of took a lot of influence from other industries as well. Because I think looking at other architects, it sometimes can go too much in the pretty pictures and not enough information.
Yeah.
So we looked at maybe what other industries do, because they're usually a lot better at selling themselves. Architects are kind of renowned for being not very great business people, selling themselves short, undervaluing their time, and et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. And so we we're taking a lot of cues from other bigger industries to see how they did it as well. How did they lay out their offers? So we're kind of experimenting a bit. For us, we're kind of experimenting a bit like that, to really try and, just to give as much clear information and different offerings and in different ways to potential people visiting the website. So, not really. For us, it's kind of testing the waters, really, and kind of going a bit off piece. But I think it's useful to do that and like, look at other industries as well, especially in the creative industry.
Yeah.
That might not just be architects.
Yeah. Did I also see on your website that you guys also offer interior design services? Is that something you do as well?
That is something we do as well. Yeah. So we're actually, over the last few months, we're creating relationships with other interior designers where we can essentially be able to offer a start to finish pack together with other consultants. So, our company is all about creating a team of consultants that work well together, that have the client's interests at heart. So, interior design is something that I'm quite passionate about and we love to do. So now we're just collaborating with the right partnerships and other designers to then, to make it happen.
Yeah, I think we want to, what we do really is we have a range of skills that we can get so far, but when we think there's an extra level of detail and expertise to take it to that next level, we can pull on those resources.
Yeah.
So, looking at interior design, we because we model all the spaces, we do all the visualizations, we do a really good job with the 3Ds. And we can put together specifications of all the materials and floor finishes and where the lights are going, where the radiator, all of the details you'd expect from an interior design finish and paint colors, etc. But then working with an interior designer, we've got a good working relationship with an interior designer. They can take things to just that extra level of input, like where they can provide the continual on-site support of, ordering materials, managing the process, better, almost like a minor project manager role.
Yeah.
And down to things like the textiles.
Yeah.
Right? What's the pillowcase designs. So it's the level of detail above and beyond what we would do. So because we can pull on that, we can offer a range of services really to fit clients' budgets. And I think that's quite important.
Really great. That's amazing, guys. Yeah. And one more question before we wrap up. Would you ever consider, or you might do this already, do you have an email list or an email newsletter that you currently do, or you would consider in the future to send out to people?
We don't. That's not something we do at the moment. We don't have newsletters. Yeah.
It's a really great way.
But definitely a consideration, for sure. I mean, definitely thought about it. And I think that comes hand in hand with, as we start creating content for blogs and social media, then that will lend itself to kind of fit into that workflow a lot easier as well. But 100%. There's so much value in that sort of thing.
Your email subscribers, people who obviously they're giving you their email address in exchange for maybe some sort of freebie, weekly newsletter, that they just become this loyal following for you guys. And it actually becomes a really great asset to your business. So if you can utilize or have one of the goals for your website is to actually build your email subscriber base, like go for it. And you can even like speak to your current client base. Like if you sign up, then you can stay in touch with us and whatever it is that you want to offer. But you raised a good point, actually. Have a look to see what other architects out there are doing. Have a look to see what larger businesses are doing. What are they offering? Amazing that you're considering it. That's really great.
That's
yeah.
Definitely. It's definitely something we'll look into doing.
Yeah, great. Guys, thank you so much for your time. It's a very valuable time, so thank you so much. And just to leave people, I wanted to ask you, where can people find you?
Well, you can head to our website, and that's chandran-hughes.com. That's our website. And you can also find us on our Instagram, which is Chandran Hughes Architects. And then we're in the process of doing the rest of our social media, so watch this space.
Yeah, great. I'll leave all the links in the description anyway. But thank you so much, guys, and we'll speak soon.
Thank you, Roshni. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching another video. Make sure to check out the next one linked right over here. But wait, don't go just yet, because we have some amazing freebies we've created for you. They're linked in the description, so make sure you grab yours. And lastly, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos on portfolio websites.